So this is driving back from Kinlochleven to Crieff, although we did go a lot further than that, but nobody wants to see boring footage of the A9.
No. So this is the return leg of a recent holiday that we did. We just pretty much came up with the idea on a Thursday night and we were away on a Saturday night. We went to a little place in Kinlochleven. The reason we're showing the return leg is because the outward leg, the weather was terrible and it just didn't look that great. So.
Yeah, it was really wet and drizzly. There was some really good conditions and there's some bonus footage at the end that shows that. So this is us driving towards, basically we planned to do a couple of hikes. The hike the day before we kind of cancelled, it turns out for good reason, because we met some people on the second day that were going to do the hike we were going to do on the first day, and apparently the river that you had to cross en route was swollen and in spate, and we would have only got so far and it would have sucked anyway, so we made the right decision by just driving around and looking at deer.
We'll do the walk we were going to do eventually. It's got a nice graveyard and stuff. Sounds weird, but yeah, there's a graveyard to people that made the dam near Kinlochleven, and it's cool. But what you can see up ahead at the moment is the Path of Glencoe, which is the walk we did on the Sunday, and it was a really good hill. A bit of a slog for maybe 2/3 of it, but the top's really rocky and the views you get were amazing.
It was worth it. So in the time between that cut there was about 3-4 hours we were spent hiking, and the reason I was arsing around with that park job there was largely because I thought it was going to be heaving due to it being a sunny Sunday. Turns out nobody parked next to me. Obviously nobody uses the top part of that car park. So this is kind of an alternative to the A82 at the moment. It's a bit slow, but it got the job done. So that guy there hated me. He started shouting something out the window. He must have assumed I was coming around the bend too fast, but you know.
We weren't, yeah. Unless you're watching right now, it's horrid. I don't think so somehow. So yeah, this must be like the old road through Glencoe.
Passing the famous Clackey again.
I mean, Glencoe's really, really nice. It's a lovely glen, but I think we usually remark on it being a bit too tourist trappy and busy every time that we go through.
It's always poaching with people. As you can see, the amount of traffic in the car parks just means if you did want to pull over and have a look, you're just not going to get a space. You'll notice the 3 top bars there. I just flagged up the warning symbol for Jimmy Savile's house.
Oh yeah. Still boarded up. I guess nobody really wants to buy it or sell it. Don't blame them, but
it'll be cursed forevermore.
Yep.
By Uncle J.
So on the right is the Buckletive Moor, which is probably Scotland's most photographed mountain, apart from maybe Ben Nevis. And yeah, round the other side there is Glen Etive. We drove down that on the way up on the first day. I think there's going to be little clips of that later on.
But yeah, didn't do it on the way back. But this drive, when you get the weather like this, which is very rare, at least for this part of the world, it really just kind of bring to life how nice an area this is. But like I say, I've never really stopped and photographed it purely because of just how busy it is. It just makes for a rather negative experience. Although I think on this drive itself, I think traffic was staying at 60, so I was quite happy just to hang back. I've actually noticed that if I'm driving without the dash cam, I will probably be closer up and trying to make more overtakes, but with it on, I kind of want to let traffic get away from me a wee bit so that you get better
footage,
better views of the scenery rather than staring at the back of some slow guy's car.
So this is Rannoch Moor that we're going across, which is a really cool sort of place, and on a nice day you can get some good photographs of it. What's depressing though is we've gone so far away on this holiday, but we're actually not very far from Perth and Kinross at this point. And considering I work in Perth and Kinross in various locations, I don't feel like I've got far enough away from it.
Those mountains there look like they've aged badly with all the wrinkles on them.
Yeah. Like they've been in the, you know when you've been in the shower or the bath for too long and your fingers get all...
I suppose they do live in the Scottish weather.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's just like loads and loads of little stream kind of riverbed things that have just carved that shape in.
It's kind of, the mountains I see them being is transition between the east and the west at this point, because they are becoming more rounded rather than, they seem more rugged on the west coast than do on the east, presumably due to the geology.
I just remembered there's later on I think we might be able to start seeing it now. There's a mountain with a flat top haircut.
There's a mountain you could set your watch to, and I do have a genuine Johnny Unitas watch. Whether or not you can see that on the camera, I don't know.
He does indeed. So we'll be seeing that a little later on. I don't know what it's called.
I tried to look it up. It's difficult to work out where it is when you're looking at a map.
Yeah.
Probably because it's not actually as flat as it looks when you get to the top. It's probably a bit of an optical illusion. They're coming towards the place beginning with T. That
is, I believe it's supposed to be called Time Drum. After years of thinking it's Tin Drum, but who knows?
You can see on the very right hand side of that mountain ridge over there, that's the mountain with the watch haircut.
Yep. That's we're using this time valuably, talking about mountains with watch haircuts.
I mean, you might want to know some more interesting things about our lives and what we're doing, but you know, we'd rather just talk about mountains. It's more enjoyable.
It's true. I mean, we could talk about what we did in Kinlochleven. We went up to a waterfall, which was really cool.
Yeah, I like that waterfall. I think you went more into the adventure side of it than I did.
Only a little bit. There's like little chains. If you've ever done the Ely chain walk in Fife, it's chains anchored into the rock that you can kind of walk across, and you can walk up to the waterfall. But what actually does it continues right up the cliff face, almost vertically. A series of ladders and kind of wobbly platforms and stuff. But you're expressly told not to go onto it because you'll probably have an accident. You have to get supervision from the local climbing club.
Now, if this was maybe a year or so ago, 2 years ago, we probably would have filmed this entire thing as a regular 15-minute long gritty burn epic adventure. But to be honest, we don't do that many of them anymore, and this is maybe a kind of good time to discuss why. It's not because we don't want to do them, it's just because it feels like it's been done, to quote George Harrison.
You just couldn't wait to work there. Yeah, I think we don't want to record things for the sake of it. A lot of the time there are some videos that were just, we've got to take the camera because we're going out, and they were never that good. The best ones tend to be holiday videos, which is what we'll still do. We'll do one next year. But yeah, we've not had much time either. We have different shifts and stuff, so.
Both working full-time jobs that are paying now reasonable wages, so when we do get away we can be more extravagant, such as spending the night in the pub enjoying the various local flavours. I mean, we would have done that regardless of wage, but it just feels like more now it's not so much of let's go on holiday, it's going to cost X amount, it's more let's just go on holiday, who cares how much it costs.
Yeah.
Which is a nice position to be in after all this time. It just means that free time is limited, which is a disadvantage.
Yeah, I suppose you've got to work for your money. But yeah, it's not that we hate doing videos anymore. It's just it's naturally phased out a bit, which is fair enough. We'll do kind of longer form, kind of holiday videos and stuff still, but we're not going to go for one night somewhere and kind of spend it faffing around with a camera.
After a while it loses its novelty because, again, we are only two people with, I don't want to say limited senses of humour, because that's not what I mean. It's just that we have a certain way of doing things, and that certain way can only be dragged on so long. But if you do leave the gap of sort of 6 months to a year between a video, you've got new influences coming in, and that kind of keeps them fresh.
I think our last couple of videos, Norway and Acid, they introduced kind of new styles and new kind of humour in a way. So yeah, hopefully the next video we'll do the same. Whereas if we did one every week, we'd just resort back to, really trite stuff like old Angus McToshin's gravestone, kind of made up history.
I think we're caught behind all the Angus McToshin there, but we're talking. So yeah, this is us back into the East Coast slog.
Yeah, back into kind of stuff I might go and do during working hours. Like do some electoral canvassing for some person who can't be arsed filling out the forms way up in St. Fillan's.
To me this is still kind of day out territory, heading up to see viaducts, or apparently the St. Fillan's tunnel's open, so we need to go have a look at it. But
we're in Comrie now, which has an excellent bakery, Campbell's Bakery, and allegedly a good fish and chips as well. I've not been there. The bakery I'll attest to.
The bakery is good. We actually went there. We went to McDonald's the morning we drove out, and then we stopped at the bakery despite it only being an hour or so down the road, just because it's that good. What happened there is the road was closed, the police were blocking it off, so we just turned around and take the old Stroan Road. So that's just passed over the river around there. It was just kind of... I was expecting this road to be really, really busy because it's the alternative to the A85, and with it being the A85 being closed, this would be an absolute nightmare to drive. I mean, it was quite heavily trafficked compared to normal, but it wasn't too bad.
Maybe all the traffic thought they were going the right way, but they were actually going to Braco or something like that.
It could be that most people would just follow the main road. You wouldn't think to come down here because it doesn't specifically say Crieff on the signs. So this is just kind of local knowledge would take you down this road.
Yeah.
To me, pretty much everywhere on the east coast of Scotland is local. And that's us sort of wind it down a wee bit. There's a nice old railway tunnel just off this road as well.
Unfortunately, we're approaching the Jewel of Strathearn, also known as Crieff.
Crieff gives you grief.
Yep. It's a bottleneck. It's just... I'm going to go on record saying I really don't like Crieff that much.
So these are a few highlights from the drive-in. Like I say, the weather really wasn't that good, but this was funny.
Yeah, there was a lot of deer. The deer are surprisingly, okay with the human sort of presence, and this one just, it didn't even seem the slightest bit aware of what was going on behind it.
It was funny just to kind of watch it stumble along. I guess get the feeling that tourists probably feed them all the time.
Bearing in mind this is sped up, so this was really slow, just dawdling around.
Just getting in the way.
Yeah.
Nice scenery, but there was a bit bleak around there. I wasn't a huge fan of Glenetiv. I'll maybe come back at some point.
I think it was quite nice.
This is Locha, and this is just me showing off my overtaking skills. We stopped behind the boat, it was pissing me off, and then come around the corner and you think, oh, got my freedom back. And you look at those two jumps, but they don't hang around for long. And I am doing the legal speed limit. If anybody watches these videos, I am generally doing around about 60.
That was over the Owen Williams Bridge.
Yep. This was the drive into Glencoe on the way in. And this is where drizzly weather can change things and it becomes really nice.
It's always atmospheric in the Scottish Highlands, even if it's not particularly clear or kind of pleasant. It always can add something, particularly up Rannoch where we're going. Makes it ominous.
And there's a nice surprise once we kind of get around the next few bends in terms of how the weather played out for this part of the trip, which is why this has been included as a slightly longer bonus section of footage. Again, I think that guy was doing slower than the speed limit, but I wanted to get some really nice shots of like the rainbow that's just coming on the left hand side. So I held back and let him do his slow thing instead of doing what I did at Locha and overtake.
Yeah, that rainbow was really nice. Apparently there was a rainbow in East Asia somewhere that lasted for 9 hours. This one didn't, unfortunately.
It did last a while though, we got sort of 5-10 minutes. We pulled over a lay-by and...
We were pretty much at the Buccleuch Moor and the King's House by the time that thing sort of disappeared.
But no, it was overall a really nice sort of 2 days just to get away from the world for a wee bit. And
there it's back again.
And the climb up to the Papa Glencoe, like we say, was strenuous but a lot of fun.
Yeah. We had a nice stay at the the hostel was but I mean the pub that we went to for drinks was nice. It had a nice burger and we had 100 free credits on the jukebox.
Yeah, so we got to rock up to some Dio and some Idlewild and the National Ockerville River.
Well, I was rocking out to 3 out of 4 of those.
And whatever else we could find. It was a good jukebox, a good night, and generally a good holiday. And hopefully we'll do more like this in the future and maybe film it properly next time instead of just giving you a commentary video.
Well, we're going to have an early kind of holiday in 2018, like we usually do each year, which will no doubt hopefully have a video involved in it. One thing though, we need to get better breakfast cereal.
Yeah. No more triple chocolate stuff from Co-op, where the flavour's been sucked off with a Hoover.
Yeah. Tasted like sort of pebbles and jute, you know.
Unpleasant.